Hi garden friends! Today I'm sharing 4 household items that can actually make gardening easier and 3 popular ones that gardeners just can't seem to agree on. Do they actually work? Let's jump in to number 1. Now here's something that you may still have around the house, and instead of putting it straight in the recycling bin, you can put it to work in your garden. Newspaper. Newspaper can be used as a simple weed barrier underneath mulch, much like cardboard. I like it especially around established plants and in smaller areas where large pieces of cardboard can be difficult to fit. Just use several sheets together, overlap the edges so weeds can't easily find their way through. Wet the newspaper to help hold it in place and then cover it with a good layer of mulch. Over time, the newspaper breaks down and adds organic matter to the soil. Just be sure to use ordinary newspaper rather than glossy inserts or heavily coated paper. And if you're wondering about the ink, that's a question I hear quite often. Most standard newspaper is considered suitable for this use. And one important thing, don't pile it right up against the stems or crowns of your plants. Leave a little breathing room around them. It's simple, inexpensive, and another way to use something you may already have before it ends up in the recycling bin. You know, this doesn't really look like much. In fact, I almost donated it. Then I remembered how often I actually use old t-shirts out here in the garden. Instead of buying plant ties every year, I simply cut old cotton t-shirts into strips. They're soft enough that they won't damage the plant stems, but they're strong enough to support just about any plant that needs a little extra support. One mistake I see gardeners make fairly often is tying plants too tightly. You see, as the stem grows, that tie can actually start cutting into the plant stem. And a strip of cotton has just enough stretch to move with the plant instead of working against it. I also like that they're basically free. I don't have to buy another package of plant ties every single spring because I almost always have an old t-shirt that is ready for a second life. You see, when one wears out, I simply cut another strip. Simple, practical, and it works. Now here's something that probably gets used more than almost anything else in my garden. A simple 5-gallon bucket. I have several of these and somehow they're never where I thought I left them. Maybe that's just me. This bucket follows me all over the garden. When I'm weeding, everything goes right in here. And when I'm pruning shrubs, it comes with me. And if I'm planting containers, I'll fill it with my trowel, gloves, hand pruners, fertilizer, and whatever else I need, so I'm not making several trips back and forth across the garden. When I'm cutting flowers to bring indoors, they go right into the bucket with some water. And here's probably my favorite use. I simply turn it upside down and use it as a seat. As I've gotten older, I've learned to appreciate anything that saves my back and knees. Sometimes the simplest things are the ones that you end up using the most. A 5-gallon bucket. And before we move on, if you'd like my free 4-season garden checklist, you'll find the link in the description below. Now, let me show you one bonus household that saved me a lot of cleanup over the years. Here's one quick bonus tip that has saved me a lot of cleanup over the years. I know this probably isn't the first thing that you'd think of using in the garden, but I use one every time I repot plants. An old shower curtain liner. I spread it out on my potting bench or even on the patio before I get started. Instead of ending up with potting soil everywhere, it all lands on the shower curtain liner. And when I'm finished, I simply gather up the corners and pour the extra potting mix right back into the bag. Potting soil isn't cheap, So if I can save it instead of sweeping it into the trash, I'm going to. Then I give the shower curtain a quick shake, fold it up, and it's ready for the next project. I wish I'd started doing this sooner. You know, it's one of those simple ideas that makes gardening just a little easier. Shower curtain liners. Now this one may start a real debate. Irish Spring soap. Some gardeners swear that hanging bars of it around the garden keeps deer away, and others say the deer completely ignore it. Does it actually work? Maybe, but I wouldn't count on it. The theory is that the strong scent may discourage deer from browsing nearby plants, and some gardeners say that they've had great success with it, but the results are inconsistent. And what works in one garden may do absolutely nothing in another garden. Deer are also remarkably adaptive. You see, if they're hungry enough, or they realize that that strong smell isn't actually a threat, they may simply ignore it. So would I try it? Well, if deer were repeatedly eating one of my favorite plants, I might hang a bar nearby and see what happens. It's fairly inexpensive, simple to try. I haven't lost much if it doesn't work. Would I rely on Irish Spring to protect my entire garden? Absolutely not. For serious deer pressure, I would want a more reliable strategy. So I'm curious, have you tried Irish Spring soap in your garden? Did it actually work, or did the deer completely ignore it? Let me know in the comments, because I have a feeling gardeners are going to have some very different experiences with this one. If you're enjoying these practical gardening tips, I'd love to have you subscribe and join our growing garden community, Sally's Garden Society. If you've spent much time online, you've probably seen people recommend hydrogen peroxide for almost everything. And here's how I use it. For me, it's primarily a cleaning product. I use it to clean nursery pots, seed trays, and sometimes my pruning tools before I reuse them. If you've ever had a plant with a disease, the last thing that you want to do is spread the problem to another plant with dirty pots or dirty pruners. Starting with clean equipment is simply a good gardening habit. Now, I know you'll hear people recommend hydrogen peroxide for all kinds of plant problems. Personally, I don't think of it as a miracle cure. I've learned that healthy soil, proper watering, putting the right plant in the right place, and keeping tools clean solve far more problems than chasing miracle products. I always keep hydrogen peroxide in my gardening supplies because it does exactly what I need it to do. Now here's another household items that gardeners ask me about all the time. And here's the garden tip of the day. Before you add anything to your garden, even if it's something that you've heard about for years, ask yourself one simple question. What problem am I trying to solve? And if you don't know the answer, hold off until you do. The healthiest gardens usually come from understanding what your plants actually need, not from trying every gardening hack that you hear about. That one simple habit can save you time, money, and a lot of frustration. This is probably the household item I get asked about more often than any other. Some gardeners swear by Epsom salt. Others say that they would never use it. And here's where I land. Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate. It isn't an all-purpose fertilizer, and it isn't something I automatically reach for every gardening season. If your soil or plants truly have a magnesium deficiency, Epsom salts can absolutely be helpful. But that's the important part. If they need magnesium. Now, one claim I hear all the time is that Epsom salt prevents blossom end rot on tomatoes. Based on what we've learned through horticultural research, blossom end rot is primarily related to calcium not reaching the developing fruit. And inconsistent watering is often the problem. Adding Epsom salt doesn't solve that issue, and in some situations, extra magnesium can actually compete with calcium uptake. You'll also hear claims that it repels pests or works like a miracle booster for every plant. I haven't really seen reliable research that supports using it that way. Does that mean Epsom salt never belongs in the garden? Not at all. If a soil test or a true magnesium deficiency shows that's what your plants need, then it can be a very useful product. Now you can get a soil test done through your extension office and just look it up online. They're a great resource. If you enjoyed today's video, click on the video that's on your screen right now, where I'll share even more household items that you can use in your garden. And I'll catch you in the next one.